Coach, does Alex Orji remind you of anyone you've game planned for from the quarterback position in the past?
Not really. You know, he has a unique skill set as far as just his size, the way he runs, and he has a really strong arm. So the guys we game planned against last year, no one comes to mind.
You've had a bunch of defensive transfers who've come in and done really well. A lot of schools, they bring in transfers, and not everyone sort of makes it. What about your system and how well you've taught these guys has allowed like 6 guys to come in, not only start and play really well so fast?
Yeah, I think it's really unique to those guys, not really the scheme. You know, I think those guys could have gone anywhere, and they would have had the impact that they had here. Those are just high-character guys. They do everything the right way on and off the field. And before we even talked about scheme, like they had an immediate impact just in our locker room. I think it started there, and then it trickled down to the field.
Coach, Donovan Edwards has gone off to a slow start this season, but what challenges does he pose for guys?
Man, he has great vision. You know, you always have to be prepared for him to cut the ball back. Great size, great speed. He's a really good back, and you know, we know that he could get it done at any point in time.
Dan, we haven't seen you throw much on tape. Football, I think it made clear like yesterday. You know, be a quarterback at this level, you have to be able to throw the ball. How much are you guys balancing the knowledge that Michigan's probably going to rely on the run heavily with, you know, still incorporating, you know, game planning?
Yeah. Well, you know, so far when he's played the games, he's just had a package, so that's probably why he hasn't thrown as much. Now that he's going to be the starter, you know, you have to prepare for that package, but you also have to prepare for their offense. So it just makes more that they can do.
Is it challenging at all, you know, knowing that you've only seen that package on film and the unpredictability of knowing what else could come with him being the starter now?
Always, yeah. You know, you have no idea what they're going to do, what they're going to game plan. At the end of the day, we just have to play our rules and play our style of ball.
Did you find when you went back and watched the film from a couple weeks ago that there were things you guys did well to limit that run?
There was, and there's also some things that we need to improve on that Michigan probably saw that they're like, all right, we can capitalize on that.
Knowing that they have, you know, when they have passed this year, they rely heavily on Colston Loveland in the tight end position, not knowing his status, does that change game planning at all? How are you guys going to handle that?
Always have to prepare like he's going to play, and then if he doesn't, you just have to see, you know, how they adjust. You know, do they plug and play the next guy in, or is there a next guy that they feature?
Where's Kamari? Is he taking a step forward, the second year in the system?
I would say just communication and just being more vocal on the field. You know, he's very, very smart, and just with him being in a situation where he was the only one who knew the defense, it kind of forced him to kind of talk a lot more. And now that we're in camp, you know, you see that paying off. You know, he's out there taking charge. He's just more vocal than he has been in the past.
What changes during practice when you're game planning for a running quarterback?
You know, you just have to be prepared for him to be able to run the ball at all times. You know, so all of their run schemes, you know, it just adds an extra element to it. So we really have to be disciplined, and we really have to make sure we're doing our job at all times.
What's the general feel kind of the defense going into this week compared to maybe that week going into that first game against USC? Just kind of vibe for you guys.
You know, it's the same. You know, we have a big challenge. You know, we know what to expect. We're prepared for it, and we just need to make sure we're playing our best ball.
And there's just a lot of pressure, you know, around this job, around this position when you took it. And for yourself, how much of these first few weeks just personally had kind of impacted to you? How much have you been motivated personally to show that, you know, what you did at UCLA last year was kind of one?
I just kind of keep my focus on the kids, and you know, going back to the spring is getting them better and better every day. And if we just keep that same process all throughout the fall, we know at the end of the day we're going to be a good defense.
How would you analyze where Bear Alexander's at right now?
He's getting better and better every day. You know, just with his knowledge of the scheme and just his overall execution of it.
Have any of the defensive transfers been better than you expected, guys? When you saw them on film, you met with them in person, but they've
You know, all the guys have been about what we expected. The guy that I'm most impressed with is probably Gavin, just because he wasn't here in the spring. So for him to not be here in the spring and to come into camp and pick everything up as quick as he did was pretty impressive.
He mentioned that you guys would sit and watch film together when he was still in the portal and thinking about coming here. When you sit down with potential recruits or prospects and watch film with them, what are you hoping to gain in terms of knowledge about them?
You know, I just want to see like how their mind works. You know, like are they someone who loves football, likes ball? Are they instinctive? You know, just what their football IQ is like. But at the same time, I want them to have a good idea of how they're going to be used in this game.
What did you learn about Gavin specifically during that process then?
Just how smart of a player he was. Now, again, I didn't expect him to pick up everything as quick as he did, but coming into it, you knew that he was smart.
Let's do one more.
If you guys use anyone in particular just to game plan against for kind of the scout team, quarterback to impersonate, orgy?
I didn't.
Have you guys used anyone in particular to kind of game plan against, to impersonate Tuck's orgies on the scout team?
We have not. We have multiple scout quarterbacks. They all have different skill sets. We've just been going with those guys.